A chilly breeze swept through the quiet streets of Maplewood, a small town nestled in the hills of Vermont. Inside the town's old library, a young woman named Sarah sat alone at a corner table. The soft yellow light above flickered gently as she stared at the open book in front of her, but her eyes didn't move. The words blurred together, lost behind a wave of thoughts. Her mind was spinning, group chats, a funny video she watched earlier, and that awful feeling that maybe she wasn't good enough. Sarah let out a deep sigh and closed the book. No matter how hard she tried, she just couldn't focus. An important exam was coming up, and every time she tried to study, her thoughts would wander. Her phone buzzed. A car honked outside. Even the slightest sound in the room pulled her away. Frustrated, she leaned back and whispered to herself, "Why can't I just concentrate?" That's when she noticed something odd. At the far end of the library, an elderly woman sat quietly, wearing a simple cream-colored shawl. Her white hair was neatly tied up in a bun, and her eyes looked calm and wise. There was something peaceful about her presence. She was reading, sitting straight and still, completely immersed in her book. Sarah couldn't look away. How could someone sit so still, so focused? How was that even possible? As if she had sensed Sarah's stare, the old woman slowly lifted her eyes and met hers. A gentle smile appeared on her face. "You seem troubled, dear," she said softly. Sarah hesitated, but then nodded. "I can't focus. I try, but I get distracted so easily." The woman closed her book and motioned for Sarah to come closer. "Would you like to hear a story?" she asked. "A story that might change the way you see things?" Sarah blinked. "Curious." "Sure," she said. The woman smiled again and began. "Many years ago, in a peaceful village surrounded by tall mountains, there was a young woman named Anna. She was bright and curious, full of energy and dreams. But she had one big problem. She couldn't stay focused. She'd sit with her books, ready to learn, but her mind would wander. She'd think about her friends, the weather, or what she wanted for dinner. No matter how hard she tried, she just couldn't stay on task. Her grandmother, who was well known in the village for her wisdom, saw Anna struggling. "Anna," she said, "I want you to go visit the old monk who lives at the top of the hill. He can teach you how to focus." Anna didn't know what a monk could teach her about studying, but she trusted her grandmother. The next morning she packed a small lunch and a bottle of water, and she began the long hike up the hill. It was a tough journey. She had to climb rocky paths, cross creeks, and move through thick woods. Finally, after hours of walking, she reached the top. There she found a small wooden cabin. Outside, a calm-looking monk sat meditating, eyes closed, hands resting in his lap. Despite the wind and the birds chirping all around him, he didn't move an inch. Anna waited, then cleared her throat. "Excuse me," she said softly. The monk slowly opened his eyes and looked at her with kindness. "Welcome," he said. "What brings you here?" "My grandma sent me," Anna said. "She told me you could help me focus. I get distracted all the time." The monk nodded. "I see. Before I teach you anything, I have a small task for you." He handed her a shallow bowl filled to the top with water. "Walk around this cabin 3 times without spilling a single drop," he said. Anna thought it sounded easy. She took the bowl and started walking. But as she moved, she noticed the birds, the trees, the sound of water nearby. She turned her head, and some of the water spilled over the edge. The monk smiled. "Try again." This time Anna walked more slowly. She kept her eyes on the bowl, ignoring everything else. She moved carefully, step by step. After 3 full circles, she returned to the monk. Not a drop was lost. The monk nodded. "Now, what did you learn?" Anna thought for a moment. "When I focused only on the bowl, I didn't get distracted." The monk smiled. "Exactly. The world around you is full of noise. But if you train your mind to focus on one thing, everything else fades away." Anna's eyes lit up. "So if I treat my studies like this bowl of water and give them my full attention, I won't get distracted?" "Yes," the monk said, "but that's only the beginning. Let me teach you more." Over the next few days, the monk shared 5 lessons. Control your environment. Choose a quiet place to study with as few distractions as possible. Train your focus. Start with short study sessions and slowly increase your time. Remove distractions. Keep your phone in another room. The world can wait. One thing at a time, like carrying the bowl of water, give full attention to one task. Be present. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back. Focus is a muscle. You build it with practice. Anna returned home and started using what she had learned. She found a quiet corner to study, turned off her phone and gave her full attention to her books. Slowly, she got better. She stopped checking her messages every few minutes. She was finally able to concentrate, and soon she was doing great in school. The old woman in the library finished her story and looked at Sarah. "Do you understand now?" she asked. Sarah nodded slowly. "I need to treat my studies like that. Bowl of water. Give them all my focus and block out the rest." The old woman smiled. That night, when Sarah sat down to study, she turned off her phone, found a quiet space and told herself, "Like the bowl of water." And for the first time, in a long while, she felt completely focused.